I needed some clips for the VR4, so I called up my friend at Nissan. They have them, so I'm gonna go buy. I think I need like 20 of them. If I don't need 20 of them, they're always good to have. They're like the newer style, so you just push them in instead of like, I'll show you like a comparison between like the ones that were on the VR4. They're like a screw style, and they're really hard to undo, and they always break, so you can't like ever reuse them. But these ones they use on the GTR, like all the newer Nissans and stuff like that. All it is like a pin, and it just pushes in. You can get like a flathead and pop them back out and reuse them, and you never have any issues. So I need them for like the intercooler ducts and like all the ducting on the car. Pretty much takes those clips. So I have two of the clips. I kind of want to show you the old one and then the new one, because the old ones are big pieces of crap. So this is what the old one looks like. It has a little Phillips head in it that usually always strips, because of like when they get older they always strip. And then like you have to like unscrew it, but like usually when you're unscrewing it, it'll like come like up and then like it'll fall back in, and they're, you know something, they're pieces of trash. So put them in the trash. So these are the new ones, and I'll show you like how easy it is with the intercooler. Let me find the intercooler duct for that side. What side is this? This I think is the left side. I can't tell. Here, well, I could always hold them up because I think they're pretty easy to tell which side's what. See, I'm pretty sure that maybe they're, no, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So let me hold this. Bam! Look at that. Nice and tight. There's only one in there, so look. So then if you want to come and undo them because you're like, oh, well, I put this one on the wrong side or something, you just bam, 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 like that easy. So easy, so much easier than the other crap. So yeah, I got those from these. Okay, so I was working on the VR4 a little bit more. I got a lot of the front stuff done. I was working on the fuel pump. I wanted to clear out the lines because there was bad gas in the tank. I put it in here. I thought there was going to be more, but there wasn't. So I filled up the tank with some good gas because I was like, well, I'm going to flush out the lines and everything. I better like make sure to, I need lights to show you guys this. I better make sure to like have like good gas in it because I put a new fuel filter on it. I was going to put the new pump in it. Well, I was going to try to use the old pump and it just wouldn't turn on. So I was like, well, I guess I have to put the new pump in to purge the lines. Well, I have to take the gas tank out of the car because it is so bad. I've never seen a fuel tank or a fuel pump or anything this bad in my whole life. I'm like, I haven't really worked on stuff. I was in Minnesota for like 3 years, but almost 4 years, and I never really pulled fuel pumps out. Never had to do a gas tank, but I wouldn't even expect it to look this bad in Minnesota. I'm going to show you guys this. You are probably going to like be like, wow. So this right here is the fuel pump. It's so bad that it like dissolved the screen on the fuel pump. Like this is supposed to be like a filter, like a pre-filter. There's a screen in there. It dissolved it. The fuel pump's all rusty. Everything's rusty. The wires are all like decomposed. There's like no insulation left on the wires. I'm sure the float doesn't work because it looks all saturated in like whatever. I don't know if this was full of water or what, but and then when I need a better flashlight, holy crap. But like the inside of the gas tank is like completely rusted. I don't understand. Where is, oh, here we go. So yeah, I have no clue what is going on with this. So here's the little, but man, look at that thing. Totally decomposed. Like holy. And then like the inside of the gas tank is completely rusted. Completely. So I guess I'm not going to get it running tonight. I was hoping I would be able to, but now that I have these circumstances, I probably should have just dropped the fuel tank out of the other car in the beginning and put it in this car, but now I'll have to do that tomorrow. I'll get this pretty much rolling again. Everything, I'll probably end up purging the line. This line right here, I'll just run some good fuel through it and with like a funnel or something, because I need to do that before I almost don't even want to use those fuel lines, because who knows, like they don't look. Let's look at the inside of this line. So where did I put the new fuel filter? So here's the new fuel filter. Let's see. So yeah, the inside of those lines don't look horrible at all. And I clean that line out with some brake cleaner. But man, holy crap. I mean that's really bad. I can't believe it's that bad. Like I was planning on putting the axles in. I'm almost done. All I have to do, I have all the shift linkage connected. All I really left to do is wiring, put the battery tray in the washer reservoir, and hook the fuel lines up and the heater hoses. That's it. Like, and well, I mean the axles and everything, but I mean this is gonna be like, I'll just have to do it tomorrow because it's so bad. I can't believe it's that bad. Wow. These axles don't want to come out, so I have penetrating oil kind of soaking. And then tomorrow, that's WD-40, the penetrating. So got to do like a comparison, maybe see which one actually comes out. But you know, tomorrow if I hit them with a hammer or an air hammer and they don't come out, I'm going to go take them and 2010 press them. And then all I have to do is put those on and swap the fuel tank in it, and it'll be ready to go, and I should be able to drive it tomorrow. It's just like, you know, the little setbacks, kind of like things that shouldn't happen, and like the rusty axles came out of the hubs, but the non-rusty ones didn't. So yeah, hopefully, you know, I don't run into any more issues tomorrow, but I think it'll go, you know, pretty smoothly. It's swapping a fuel tank and pressing out some axles with a big press, so we'll see. So I left the axles sitting overnight with one had PB, the other had WD-40 penetrating oil, and I'm pretty sure the PB one is going to come out because it actually absorbed it into the axle. So it was all the way full like this one, but this one hasn't even absorbed any. So I'm thinking that the PB is probably a better way to go. I have a feeling I'm gonna end up like probably tapping that one and it's going to come right out. That one I'm probably going to have to wait and redo with PB because the WD is definitely not working. You can see right here the PB's actually gone all the way through the axle. So I'm going to put some gloves on really quick and see what happens. And I even though I have like nice clothes on, I'm pretty excited to get that axle out of that hub, so hopefully we'll see. Alright, I think I'm giving up on these axles. I mean, I was giving it like full baseball bat swings, try to get them out, neither WD-40 or, well, the penetrating oil actually, you can see it ran all the way down. You can see it soaked the whole back of the axle. So it actually penetrated through. There just must be like a chemical bond. I'd need like a torch or something, but I give up on these hubs. These two hubs over here, I'm just gonna screw it. I'm gonna go to the junkyard and actually wonder if the knuckles are the same. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna go grab two knuckles from the junkyard off a normal 3000 GT, and hopefully they are the same. Junkyard, and hopefully I can find a pair of hubs for this VR4, or at least off like a non-turbo that work, because I can't get them out of the axle, get the axles out of them. So all this potential stuff. Okay, this green one, I think it had a glass roof, so I'm pretty sure it's a I don't know, it might be a turbo, it might not be. Let's see. Yeah, it's front wheel drive. I don't think it was a turbo, but it's like a glass roof car. So maybe the hubs will work. So I'm gonna get them, try them. Oh man, sneezing. Yeah, so I'm gonna get them and try them and see what happens, and hopefully everything works out. The mounts look about the same spacing. The only thing I really have to worry about is that spacing and the axle splines. All right, just leaving the junkyard. They didn't have any hubs that had ABS, which is kind of disappointing and kind of not, because I wanted to delete the ABS and all the ABS stuff, but like I already put the engine in, so I'm not doing that now. I should have came like before and done that. So I'm going to go by Nissan. I need to get some different size clips. I got some yesterday. They worked for the side mount, like ducting, but now I need some for like the radiator shroud ducting and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I guess Trevor said that we're supposed to go up to get a couch in Denver. I guess Jamie is popping out a kid. So yeah, we'll see what happens tonight at the shop. We got some rice shenanigans going on right now. The fun never ends at the junkyard. Okay, so I'm going to try something. I got the old hubs off the other swap over there, but the hubs were like, the bearings in them are destroyed. I got like a puller from O'Reilly. It doesn't work. So my next plan of attack is I'm going to do this one right here, and I'm going to pretty much get this, I'm going to hit that with the TIG until, like I did the tie rod, until it's glowing red. And then hopefully I'll spray like the outside circumference with penetrating oil, and when it cools down, it should suck it in and release the axle. So hopefully it works, because I'm running out of options other than buying like, oh, I got this knuckle is like ready, but I'd have to buy like 2 new hubs, and I may end up having to do that. So we'll see what happens. installed the rear brakes off the other car, rotors, calipers. They look a lot nicer, and they actually don't have a lip on the surface. They will need pads. The pads are actually low, so I'm gonna kind of test drive it and do some stuff and some pulls, and then like maybe in a couple weeks I'll put new pads on it because they have some meat on them, but you know, they're down. So I got that done. Now I'm probably going to start doing the gas tank in between. So I actually got one axle removed, but it is pretty much destroyed the old axle, which was kind of destroyed anyway. I don't know, I could have rebuilt them, but I also destroyed the hub in the process. So I was, like, as you can see in the video, I was like heating it up, but yeah, that was totally rusted together. It took like a ton of beating it with a hammer. I couldn't believe how much I beat it with a hammer. So I'm going to pull that hub off and probably order some offline. I'll get the fuel tank done. I'll get probably tomorrow the fuel tank and as much of the like finishing buttoning up all the rest of the stuff, put the bumper on and whatnot. And then I was hoping to be able to take it to the drags, but it's like I won't get the hubs until the 7th. So I'll probably just leave it like this and just end up pushing it back outside because it doesn't need to sit on the lift until the parts come. So I'll probably just end up pushing it back outside. We need to put an exhaust on an S14. I need to pull the exhaust off the white one to put on this one. So, you know, I'll kind of be waiting for the hubs, but it'll be pretty much ready. So once I get the hubs, all I have to do is like slap them in and go. I was gonna get a new outer tie rod, but I'll probably just steal a boot from like one of the good boots over there, because that tie rod's not bad and they're greasable. So I think that it will actually be fine, because I could put some grease in them and it'll push the old stuff out, and they feel really tight, like it's pretty new, but somebody used like one of those fork puller things that don't ever work. They just end up messing up your like tie rod end boot, so they always rip them. But yeah, I'm glad I got the brakes on. I'm just kind of disappointed about these hubs. You know, I was really hoping to be able to drive this thing this weekend, but you know, like, things happen when you're building cars. Like, that's the thing about building cars, there's always like delays and things that happen that aren't, like, you can't control. So, you know, I'll probably actually, while I'm waiting for the new hub to come in, the reason I use this one is because it doesn't have I got the other one. Where's it at? Where did it go? Well, I got the other one kind of ready to use, and then I was like, well, because that hub was bad too, so I'm gonna have to order like 2 sets of hubs. Let's see if I could show you guys. Like, yeah, you can't tell, but I probably could rebuild these ones. I'll just order the bearings to fix it. But you could tell, like, it's just like there's a lot of play in it, so the bearing is definitely not good anymore. You can rebuild them, you can press them, you can press a new bearing in it, which I may do, because those hubs I didn't have to beat on, so they're pretty much just need a bearing. They're just a lot of play, and there's no reason to put them on this car with that much play, because usually what happens when there's that much play is your rotor and your pads, there's so much play. This actually happened to my ex-girlfriend's, one of her friends. Let's just say it like that. One of her friends, like, there's no bearing left. I put a new bearing on her driver's side Saab, but like the rotor and the caliper was the only thing holding the wheel on, because there was so much play. So there's no reason to like I kind of wanted to be able to take this to the drags to see, like, just to be like, oh yeah, I got the car done in like a couple, it was like, I don't know, a couple weeks, like a week and a half, something like that. Pretty much put a whole drivetrain in a car and took it to the drags, but you know, I can't, like, I could go get some like cheap ones from the auto parts store, but you know, with bearings and everything I do bearing wise, I always use Timken. To me, they're the best bearings, or SKS or SKF or whatever it is, because both those companies actually still make their products in Japan and not China. Some of them, so you kind of have to be careful, because with Timken, I know some of their bearings they make in China, but there's like options, so you can like choose the option, and the ones that are made in the US or in Japan or wherever, the ones that are made in China are just horrible, because I don't know how, like, it's a manufacturing issue, or like just like they're lazy, or who knows, but you can definitely tell the difference between a Japanese or a US bearing compared to a Chinese one, because like the Chinese ones, you'll get them out of the box brand new, and like, you feel the notches in them, like they'll be notchy. But like a Timken one, or like one that's not made in China, they're just so smooth. And especially the ones that are made in like Europe, the ones that are made in Europe are really good. So yeah, I'll just wait for those to come in. I'll pretty much pull this gas tank tonight. I already did the brakes. I'll get that other axle out of that hub. Well, yeah, I hope maybe that one will come out easier, but who cares. So I'll get the other axle out of the hub, and then I'll take these knuckles and pretty much I'll just clean them up. I'll probably blast them and give them the good old paint, just so they're not, so the bores and everything, I'll clean the bores up with some emery cloth too, and put some anti-seize. Then the next time this happens, I won't have an issue. The only one thing about anti-seize is you can't put it on axle shafts, but you probably could, but there's like that chance because it's lubricated. You could put graphite, I think, on it with no issues, and it shouldn't corrode, but don't quote me on that. I think you can, but I'm not sure if I remember right. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work. I know I was trying to get like me hitting the axle out, but man, I was like hitting it forever. I'm just glad one of them's out. So one's done, now another one, and the fuel tank. It's getting closer, so yeah, we'll see. The fuel tank is removed right there on the ground. I pretty much just, what I didn't already have them plugged and everything, I just cut. Actually I didn't cut that, did I? Oh yeah, I did. I cut that, and I cut this, that return right there. I think that's a return or a breather or something. And then, oh, maybe this is the breather right there, because it goes to the top of the tank. So yeah, I might look into that, because I might reroute that, because I don't want it in the engine bay, because it'll stink up the like AC and everything. So I might just have it go, I might just feed it back into the fuel cap, because that'd be fine. So I'll probably just feed it to like a T right here, and then just feed that up. So I don't have any issues with the breather and anything like that, smelling up the like AC or the heat or anything, because it'll just like it just pretty much purges up to that line, up to the engine bay. And since I deleted the charcoal canister, people say, I looked up on Google and people say that it makes your like air conditioning and whatever, whenever you're running the blower motor, it just makes it smells kind of like a gassy smell. So I'll just do that. That's how it is intended anyway, pretty much, back in like before all the EPA like crap with the hydrocarbons getting in the air. It's like, who cares? So yeah, pretty much the fuel tank is out. I need to pull the other fuel tank out of the other car. That one, I'm definitely not going to cut anything. So that means I have to bring the car back into, I might do it outside, I'm not sure yet. So I need to drop the tank and do all that stuff, and then I won't have to worry about all this rusty stuff going on. So that's done. I'm probably going to start I was letting the axle over here soak. So I'm going to start working on that. I think that's the last thing I have left to do today. So yeah, I kind of just let soak. I haven't applied any heat or anything yet. So next is and how I'm applying heat is I'm just using that TIG with no filler or anything and just 150 amps into it. So it just gets like hot. Like the theory is it gets hot, and when it cools down, it pulls in the pool of PB Blaster down through the splines, because of how when it cools, it's just like kind of like a siphon. It sucks it in. So it'd be better if I had a torch, but I don't. So I'm just using a TIG, and hopefully I can get that one out, and then I'll clean both those knuckles up. I was going to use non-turbo knuckles, but I didn't know they're different, so I didn't actually get any. So I have to use the VR4 knuckles. All of them are supposedly the same and work. And then I ordered the hubs. I'll probably order another set of bearings for the other car, because I'm pretty sure I have to use those. Maybe not. Maybe I could use a 5. I'll have to check. I might be able to use the 5-speed mosquitoes. I might be able to use the 5-speed hubs, and if that's the case, that'd be great. So yeah, this is getting close. Kind of the only little rust spot I found on the body was this spot right here. I gave it a little scuff and gave her some paint. It's just where the where that little drain plug is at. So yeah, well, and then these right here on bolt, I sprayed them with PB Blaster, and I'm going to probably take the ones off the other car. Well, I think that side's messed up, but this side I'll take that one off and swap them. Maybe go to the junkyard and grab another one, swap it, because as long as the bolts come out, I'd rather have like ones that aren't all rusty, especially for like if you have to pull this on a wrecker or something, rip it off because it breaks or something crazy. So it's getting closer. I got the brakes, all the rear brakes done. The front ones I can't put on until I do the knuckles and the hubs. So I'm just kind of waiting. Tomorrow I'll do the fuel tank, get everything back there. Pretty much done. I'll put the turbo wheels back, well, the 6-speed wheels, the chrome like crappy ones that were on the car that are like kind of bent and stuff, but the 5-speed turbo wheels don't work. So I'll put those back on, and once the fuel tank and everything's in, I'll roll it back. I'll probably do the dash, put the new dash in, pretty much put all the wiring and the ECU in, and then I'll just back it out and put it out there, because I'll have to, like, the hubs won't be here till the 7th, which is unfortunate. And then there's like other stuff that we like me and Trevor need to do, so definitely need the lift for that stuff.